But first, Valentine's Day was yesterday, and I wanted to do a top 5 list. I've been wanting to do several of them. Sentry hates them, but I was like, it was the 14th yesterday, Valentine's Day. Let me do a top 5 romantic systems in video games. Not of all time, just out of all the games that I've played. Okay? And Sentry has no clue. Like, I told him I have a list. I didn't tell him any of the games on the list. So this is gonna be his first reaction to it. I don't know if you're gonna agree to it, if you're gonna disagree to it. I think you've played most of them. But I'll start now. So top 5 romantic systems in video games, in my opinion, in Champion's opinion. Okay, number 5, and again, I'm not going by specific video game. I'll give it to an entire series if it concentrates on this. Number 5, I'll give it to the Sim series. Okay, I mean, half of the game, it's like trying to marry somebody and try to, coordinate your life with that person, having a kid with that person and stuff like that. The reason I put it all the way back at number 5, you could probably do the most with your spouse. Like, you can marry them, give them a job. You can do probably the most things with your spouse in this game. But I want to go on an adventure. I want to, like, when I'm playing video games, I want to go on an adventure with the person I decide to romanticize in the game. Kind of like that gives it a cooler aspect to it. Like, you're not just...
Yeah, I mean, if I remember Sims 3 had that.
That they had like the adventures thing, the adventures mode. And I know there is another one, Sims, the Kingdoms one, or there is like a medieval Sims.
Yeah.
But again, you couldn't...
I never played Sims 4, but I played Sims 3. And I had it with like I have most of the DLC for it. But it just...
Yeah. But yeah, the romantic system, you could do a lot with it. I mean, it's half of the game is like trying to find the right partner and like, trying to, find them a job, or what job do they work, or them raising your kids and stuff like that. So would you agree with this pick? You say it's a sound pick?
Yeah. I mean, the whole
5?
game, it's basically like it has all, yeah. It is. I think it's a good
Perfect. Number 4.
I can't talk too much about it because I it's like I said, I only played a little bit. I don't know too much about it.
Number 4. Wait, you have all the DLCs and you didn't play that much? Or you just played part 3?
Part 3.
Oh, okay.
No, like, yeah, I haven't played, like, 4 at all or anything.
That's why I just said the series in general, because I never played 4 as well. Or the first one. Number 4. The Persona series. What do you think? You agree?
Yes.
Do you think it should be higher? It should be lower?
No, I mean, I do think it should be higher, but then again, I don't know the list, so I can't tell you right now. But
in Persona, yeah, it's a big part is relationships, establishing not only like
the whole the game as a whole is the whole social link system, where it's like you have to make friends in the game because they benefit you. You have to take advantage of them, basically. Make friends so you can take advantage of them later on in the battle and in the other worlds. So yeah, relationships really don't matter. Like, you get like cutscenes and stuff, and it's the girls that you can romance are pretty nice.
There's a lot too. Like they're
very distinct. It's very anime is known for that, like, oh, who's best girl, waifus and all that stuff.
Yeah, like if you're into that, you'll love that. You'll love that. No, and the cutscenes are cute and it's cool, and I like it again because not only can you go on dates with them and stuff like that, but you can also go on an adventure with them and go fight some monsters at inside people's brains. That's how the game works. Well, not inside people's brains, inside people's consciousness, I guess you could say. It's basically like a romantic date in the Inception world, basically. That's basically the Persona series.
That's actually, really good. At least Persona 5. You're thinking, because you only play Persona 5.
I only play Persona 5. I don't know, the other ones are different.
Yeah, the other ones are not at all like Persona 5.
Oh, okay. But still, it's you still have a romantic relationship with somebody. You go on dates with them and stuff like that, and also you fight monsters on the side. So again, it's still a cool concept, and that's why I have them at number 4. Number 3, the Dragon Age series. I mean, talk about like going on an adventure. Not only and mostly I put it here because of Inquisition. I like Dragon Age 2. It was the first one I played. I loved it, and Inquisition was a trillion times like better. I loved it. I love Inquisition. I love building my
Honestly,
kingdom.
I mean, Persona is so dear to my heart, so like already, I'll be like, move it up. Is compared to Dragon Age, I don't know. I mean, Dragon Age, the relationships are really like shallow in a way.
But you can do a lot. Like, okay, not only can you fight with them in your party, but you can also put them in places of power. You know, in your Inquisition. Yeah, so it's like you can also like, you know, you can do a lot with that and stuff like that, and give them a lot of responsibility in basically the kingdom that you're building. And that aspect is what sold me. I don't think you can do that with any of the other games I mentioned. And also, here's the thing. I don't want to give anything away. There's another game on this list that you can do this in that does it a lot better than Dragon Age. But there's, you know, every character, especially the person that you end up romancing, has like their own separate set of missions that you can go on and help people and basically help them out in their situation and what they're going through. And I really like that, and you learn a little bit about them. There's a game that does it a lot better that's higher up on this list. I don't know if that tipped you off, but let's keep rolling. Number 2, the Harvest Moon series. This was close. I really wanted to make this my number 1, but it breaks.
I'm surprised. What I mean now is like, what is your number 1? I really don't know. I'm stumped because Harvest Moon. I mean, I played a lot of Harvest Moon in my days, and yeah. I mean, it was, you know, it's just a simple system. You give them a gem or a flower, and then they're like, marry me. After like 10 days.
Okay, no. You're thinking of the other Harvest Moons. I'm thinking about the one that I played from my childhood, Magical Melody. First one, that one, it was like 12 hearts. And the other games, so basically you give a girl like a little gift, you take them on a date.
We can actually throw, I mean, like Harvest Moon-esque games, but Stardew Valley also has exact system, so yeah.
But yeah, so basically in a lot of the Harvest Moon games, it was like 3 or 4 hearts. So every time you do something nice, they'll gain a little bit of a heart. They'll keep gaining hearts, and when they gain up to like 3 hearts, you marry them. And Harvest Moon Magic Melody, it's a lot harder. It's like 12 hearts or like 10 hearts. It was a lot harder. And in Magical Melody, for you to get married, you needed to buy a big house. You needed to buy a king-size bed, if I was right. I remember that was the number 1 thing you needed to get, a king-size bed. And I think you couldn't do that with like a small house. I really love that aspect because literally to get married in Harvest Moon Magical Melody, it is the most expensive process ever. And it's like,
it's a little realistic, yeah.
It's like real life. Literally, I've had a lot of I have a lot of dear friends get married, and the first thing they'll tell you is it is expensive. And literally, to get married in Harvest Moon Magical Melody, and here's the great part: it doesn't force it down your throat like a few of these games do. Like, oh, you can you can pick at whatever point in the game you want to romanticize somebody. If you want to go throughout the game without romanticizing anybody, I think you could do that.
Persona though, yeah, I'm thinking now, yeah. Like since I played a lot of Persona series, they give you the option, like if you want to become friends with them, they're like, oh, do you like me? And you know, obviously more subtle. I'm being direct. And if you like, yeah, we're in Harvest Moon, you can just be friends with everybody. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, in here, look, in Harvest Moon, the reason why I didn't put it number 1 is because you don't really go on an adventure with them. Again, you have kids with them. They do help your farm around, but you just don't go on an adventure with them. You know, it doesn't happen. You get me? And that's probably the part that like, I can't put it at number 1. So, do you want any guesses to what my number 1 could be?
I don't know. I really don't know. You stumped me with that.
I mean, I gave you a clue. It's similar to Dragon Age's system, but a lot deeper. A lot more.
Not Crusader Kings.
No.
Okay. I don't know them.
It's by the same company as Dragon Age.
BioWare, or I mean, okay.
There's not that. Okay, my number 1 love system in a video game is the Mass Effect series.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You're wrong.
Yes.
Nah.
No. First of all, the background missions that you can do for all like the romantic partners that you, whatever romantic partner you do, and your friends in general, you basically do missions that kind of tell you a lot about their past, that tell you what they've gone through. And
you're basically describing the Persona series or any
no, but I think Mass Effect, and again, I said it was similar to Dragon Age, and yeah, you could say similar to Persona, but I think that it's so much deeper. Mass Effect series, it just, you get to know that character, and you can't lie. Like you can tell when a series has a good love system when you see fans obsessing over like who they fell in love with. And Mass Effect, you get that a lot. I mean, I play, and here's the thing, the fact that you can continue your relationship among all the games and stuff like that, I love that system. I mean, basically, like, here's the thing, the reason why most people hated the ending wasn't because, okay, spoiler alert for Mass Effect 3 if you never played it. It's not the fact that you died or the fact that almost everybody else dies. It's the fact that whoever you ended up romancing ends up with another guy. That's probably what makes everybody mad. That's probably what pissed everybody off. They just didn't want to say it. They're just like, my waifu left me. Like, they didn't want to say that. So they were like, the ending sucked. And it did. But you know that if it was you and your waifu coming out of that ship at the end of the Mass Effect 3, you would have been a lot less mad. Yeah. And the fact that they did that, but still, I just love that not only do you go on an adventure with her through multiple games. I think Mass Effect is the only game that you keep that same relationship through multiple games. You can also do things accidentally to get them killed. So you actually fear for their lives as well. Which is, again, something that I don't think any of these other games had. You don't fear for your partner's lives. You know, in Persona 5, if they die, they don't really die, just get knocked out, and, you know, you revive them. Harvest Moon, they don't die. Dragon Age, I don't remember Inquisition. I don't think so. Mass Effect, there were story elements that could take your character and, yeah, kill, and they can die. And you can't lie. That was, like, those deciding factors were too much for me to say, like, nah, I don't like this game. Like, I mean, I don't like this romantic system. It ticked every box, at least in my qualifications.
I mean,
what do you think?
I disagree.
What do you think is number one?
I think Harvest Moon, like the series, is better.
The thing is, here's the thing. Like with romance, I always feel like you always care about long term. You're always gonna have that fear if your spouse dies. I just love the fact that your partner can die without you doing anything, without you just making the wrong decision, or you can lose them.
I mean,
or it's just,
they can't die though.
In Mass Effect, yes. If you remember Mass Effect, if you go through a story and you don't pick the right options, certain characters will die.
It's hard to pick the wrong choices.
No, there's some choices. There's a lot of people that I didn't want to die that ended up dying because of my choices, and I was like, I gotta stick to the gameplay.
Yeah,
I
but
can't
it's because
Google.
You played it wrong.
No. You know, there's ways to play. You can look it up. There's ways to look it up. But sometimes taking the peaceful route will end up getting your character killed. It's not just like, oh, I'm gonna be peaceful all the time. No, trust me, that backfires. You'll have a few characters die because of that. I had to give it a Mass Effect. I mean, you disagree, but later we're gonna see later on this episode that your opinion is very flawed when it comes to certain things.
No, your opinion is misinformed.